Are you looking for a reports tutorial for QuickBooks Online? Well, today I'm walking you through how to run my all-time favorite financial report, the profit and loss report, also known as an income statement. After today's video, you'll know how to run a basic profit and loss report in QuickBooks Online and some advanced tips and tricks to get the most out of understanding your report. Here we are in QuickBooks Online using the Mac app. Yours should look exactly the same as my sample file here, except it will not say Overview or Accountant. So here on the dashboard, it's actually very easy to get to your profit and loss report. Now I'll show you another way to run your profit and loss report, but I do want to show you the shortcut method, which is to come over here to this tile that says profit and loss. And you see how when I hover over the words profit and loss and my net income for February, that this little hand appears. When I click here, guess what? It brings up this profit and loss report. Now I'm going to come back here to the dashboard and I'll show you another way to run your profit and loss report before we get into all the filtering. So we can come over here to where it says reports, and when we click here, we're going to see a list of favorited reports at the top. QuickBooks automatically defaults the profit and loss report as one of your favorited reports, so you don't need to go looking around for it. Although if you did want to run some other types of profit and loss reports, you could come here to Business Overview, and then we see various types of profit and loss reports. But we're going to come right back up here and we're just going to click here on profit and loss. Now QuickBooks will always automatically default to the last month and an accrual accounting basis. So if this is the report that you want to see, then hooray, you're basically done and you've created your profit and loss report. But often we want to see reports for different reporting periods. We're going to come up here to report period and we're going to click here, and we see we have this very long drop down list of different reporting periods that we can run our report for. So we could do it for this month. This month to date is a really fun one, quarter, and then we come and we scroll down and we start to get into the last list. So this is the kind of more current list, and now we have last list. So we have last quarter, we have last year, we have last year to date. All of these time frames can show you something different. And then we have some other time frames, and then we have future if you're using QuickBooks to project. But we're just going to do last year. Now you notice that over here the report time frame changes. Even though you select report period and this changes, you can still change it. So maybe you want to just do until November and not count December. You can change that by coming here, clicking on the little calendar and adjusting the date. You can also run a custom report date for pretty much any time period you'd like to run a report for. Now, the next thing I always adjust after I adjust the date is the accounting method, because the accounting method is going to directly impact the type of data that shows up on your report. So here's the difference. Cash accounting method means that you are only showing money that has actually been received. So this is actual cash that has been received for your products or services. So it does not count open invoices, because an open invoice has not actually been paid, which means the money has not landed in your bank account. So when I choose cash and run this report, we see here that the total income is $87,000. Now what's accrual? When you choose the accrual accounting method, in addition to showing all the cash that has come into your business in a given time period, you will also be showing anything that you have billed for. So that will include open invoices, open bills, anything that is money that you are expecting to be paid or money that you are expecting to pay to others that you've entered into the system. So if I run this reporting period for accrual, we'll notice that the total income is slightly higher. That's because there's an open invoice in this system that hasn't been paid. So on the cash basis, this invoice is not counted in the total income because it is not actual money received. But on the accrual basis, it doesn't matter if it has been actually received or not. It just matters if it's been billed for. So this is slightly higher. Which method you choose depends on what you want to know about your business. If you just want to know how much cash you received in a month or any period of time, you would choose cash. If you want to know everything that you've billed for, you would choose accrual. Next, we have display columns by. Now, what display columns by means is how do you want your data displayed? So right now, it's always automatically set to total only. And what that means is you're just going to see the total for every line on your profit and loss report. But there is some very cool columns that you can display your report by. So we're going to come click down here and let's choose months because I don't want to do days. That would be a lot. And you always have to click this button, Run Report. Just by selecting something, it doesn't make a difference here on the report until you press Run Report. Now this is pretty cool because now we can see your profit and loss report broken out by month. What we see here is all of our months, then we have our line by line each month, and then we can compare them side by side, which is pretty awesome. And then here at the end, we see the total for the period of time that you're running the report. I'm going to show you what it looks like to run it by quarter. So we're going to do Run Report by quarter. And again, we see this report is now broken up by different quarters. So this is a really helpful report if you want to see how the seasonality of your business. And you can do this for various periods. If you are running we'll do last month report, you could do it by week. So you could see your week to week financial breakdown. The possibilities are really endless. So if we come over here to show non-zero or activity only columns, this is really just a display feature. So if I click down here, you can show all active rows, all rows, or non-zero rows. So active rows are all of the categories in your system that are active. All will include rows that don't have any data. So any row, so see how we have promotional, even though there's nothing in promotional, so we haven't spent any money in promotional, it'll still show up on your profit and loss report. So if there are categories that you are tracking your zero spending in and you want to see that, I recommend showing all. However, what will also happen is you will see deleted categories. So these are categories that you deleted. So it will kind of clutter up your profit and loss report. And then non-zero is basically anything without a zero balance in it. And then the columns, it's the same thing. It's all the active columns. All columns are non-zero columns. So the next thing is we have compare another period. Now, if you're using QuickBooks Simple Start, you will not have this feature. This is only for Essentials and Plus users, but I will show you a workaround. So compare another period is pretty cool. You can come here and you can click, and then you can actually compare your data to various filters. So for example, previous period always refers to the report period. So if you ran this report for a year, it's going to show you the year before. So if this is run for 2018, this will show you 2017. Then you can choose if you want to see the dollar change and or the percentage change. Let's actually come here and do last quarter, and we'll do a previous period. So what we see here is the total again for the current period and the total for the previous period. And this is where the magic comes in. You can see the change. So you can see that, oh, wow, in this period, in the last quarter of 2018, I made $13,000 less than I did in the previous period. And that is a 73% drop in digital products. And I can look at that for my total income. I could go down and look at my spending. So this is really, really cool in helping you assess the changes in your business. Now, if we uncheck this and check previous year, what we're going to see is this report period compared to the year before. And then we have the year to date. So what the year to date shows you is what your current period is compared to all the money you've made. So the year to date report shows you what you've earned up to this final reporting period. So if I made this December, we would see what we earned for September through December. Here's our total income, and then what we made for the entire year. So it's really nice because you can compare that, oh, wow, in September through December, I made $32,000. That's more than a third of my total income. So this is also really helpful to see how your reporting periods have contributed to your profitability. Let me come down here. Now, I'm not going to go through each and every one of these. I do that in my course, Quick and Dirty QuickBooks, but just I want to show you one last thing, which is you can come here where it says percentage of income. This is one of my other favorite ones. So if you go to Run Report, what you're going to see here is how much of your income each of these income categories made up for the reporting period. So when we look at this, we can see that total digital products have made up 38%. Service packages have made up 61%. And then we can see a breakdown of each income stream and the percentage. Then what gets really cool is here in the expenses, you can see how much of your expenses are eating up your income. So here we have advertising only 0.5%, but we see that office expenses takes up 8.3% of the total income earned. And at the very bottom, we can see that out of all the money that this person earns, 32% of that goes towards operating expenses, which is called our overhead percentage. Now, if you are using QuickBooks Simple Start, let's talk about a few hacks because you are not going to have this compare another period. One of the ways that I use the previous period comparison is when I'm comparing month to month. So what I like to do is I actually like to run the report. If I'm running it for last month, I will change this reporting period to January 1st, and then I will display columns by month. And here you can still see the comparison. Now it will not show you that nice little column on the side with the breakdown of the dollar or percentage change, but you can probably do the math yourself without having to pay for a $10 or $15 more a month upgrade. A couple final things, you can use this little pencil to click here. You can hide the logo or show the logo. You can change the name, and you can change the name of the report. So if someone likes to call it income statement, you can do that. You can also add notes to the bottom of your report, which I really like to do. So sometimes you might want to make a note about expenses because you invested in something. This is really great if you're sending this report to other people, like a partner or an investor, or even just someone who is helping you manage your finances. You can make notes at the bottom. And then here you can email the report, print the report, export the report as a PDF or as an Excel file. And here if you click on the gear, you can change the way that the report visually is represented. Now, there are a lot of other ways that you can customize a profit and loss report, but we would be here for hours if we did that. And again, I go over the customizations in my training, Quick and Dirty QuickBooks. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below what was your biggest takeaway. And check out my other videos on profit and loss reports, which I've linked here on the side. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because every week I share a new video about how to organize and stay on top of your business finances. I'll see you in the next video.